Good evening. We call this February 26, 2018 regular meeting of the City of Coolidge City Council to order. Do we have, okay, we don't have a pastor, so we'll move into please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Norma, call the roll, please.
Yes. Councilmember Jimmy Walker. Councilmember Steve Hudson.
Here.
Councilmember Robert Huddleston.
Here.
Mayor John Thompson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Jackie Henry.
Here.
Councilmember Joseph Marsh.
Here.
And Councilmember Tatiana Murrieta.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum there.
Thank you. Under presentations, we have the monthly report by the Coolidge Youth Coalition. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Sharon Boyd, and I'm the director of the Coolidge Youth Coalition. I would like to thank our community leaders who came out and supported CYC in our Community Speaks Roundtable Forum held at the CUSD District Office. We had a great turnout, including our mayor, city manager, finance director, along with our police chief, Commander Grizzle, and Mandy Childers, our school resource officer. We also had administrators from CUSD and Imagine Prep in attendance, along with students and parents from CUSD and Imagine. It is only with the help of our partners and key stakeholders that CYC is able to bring prevention, education, and resources to our kids, parents, and community. The information we share and the conversation we have about our community is invaluable to CYC when we are answering the key questions in prevention. Why here? Why now? Through listening to what our community is telling us, we are better able to understand the Coolidge story and how CYC can continue to play a vital role in that story. With the information we gained through the community opinion survey we administered, we are able to initiate some immediate strategies and campaigns that fit into what our partners are telling us. One of the data points in our forum was the age of youth initiation to drug use is getting younger and younger. Our AYS data tells us that 1 out of 3 youth who use marijuana began smoking marijuana in elementary school. Almost 92% of youth that smoke marijuana began smoking marijuana before they could drive a car. The age of initiation for a drink of alcohol is around 12 and a half years old. CYC is now going younger with our prevention messages. We are initiating campaigns such as a promotion party for our 8th graders from CUSD and Imagine Prep to get them ready for the risks they will encounter in high school. We are going into Heartland and Imagine 5th and 6th grade classes with Kindness Rocks anti-bullying. We are working with our 6th graders on STEM activities and healthy living initiatives. Family conflict was another conversation we had at our forum. Our families are under stress and our kids are under stress. One of the top reasons our kids are telling us that they are using drugs is to deal with stress and to keep from feeling sad. CYC is currently working with CUSD and Imagine to host student and parent trainings, including initiatives such as support groups on campus, peer-to-peer mentoring, lunch clubs for those that are being bullied at lunch or recess, buddy benches, leadership trainings, and art projects such as murals and timeout gardens in an attempt to empower our parents and our students. Another conversation we had at our forum was more healthy activities for our youth in Coolidge to participate in. We heard from our kids that they and their friends spend an inordinate amount of time on social media, on their tablets, game sets, and being indoors. CYC has now partnered with the City of Coolidge on a CART campaign to get our kids out of doors and riding our amazing public transportation in Coolidge. CYC launched a Oh, the Places You'll Go this month by purchasing a block of one-day CART passes for our youth that want to go to the mall, Promenade Mall in Casa Grande, to eat or to see a movie. Mandy will be going into CUSD and Imagine to raffle off these passes and talk to our kids about the importance of getting out of the house and exploring Pinal County with our cart system. Thank you, Gabe Garcia, for setting up this partnership. In closing, I would like to again thank all of you who came out to support CYC for this community forum. Mandy and I attend trainings all over the United States with our DFC grant, and I cannot tell you the times that coalition members from Arizona and other states have asked me, "You really get to have a one-on-one time with your mayor, your chief of police, and your city council?" I say, yes, I do. It is hard for us to imagine living in a community where it is almost impossible to set up a meeting with the city leaders. CYC is truly grateful for the one-on-one relationship we have with our community. We have a strong community with family members who care about each other. We have amazing students, most of which do not use drugs. 80% of our kids do not use drugs or alcohol. We have a community that expect our young people to do their best. And we have organizations in Coolidge that are in place to help our young people remain drug-free. So that is the good news that came out of our community forum, and we have our partners, stakeholders, students, parents, and community to thank for this. The story of Coolidge is a strong one. The story of Coolidge is a proud one, and the story of Coolidge is a compassionate one. Martin Luther King asks us, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I'm thankful I work in a community whose priority is to help others. Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Part B of CYC's report. My name is Mandy Alexander, and I'm the project coordinator with the Coolidge Youth Coalition. As Sharon had mentioned, we are excited to announce that we are hosting a promotion celebration for graduating 8th graders at Imagine, Coolidge Junior High, and Coolidge Alternative Program. According to a recent SAMHSA report, more than 20% of youth begin binge drinking before the age of 13. CYC attends several trainings throughout the year, and most of which have one universal message across the board. It is never too early to start that conversation about drugs and alcohol. CYC is working with both schools, reaching out to parents and students to get involved in the planning process of our promotion celebration. We are looking forward to that. Coolidge Junior High 8th grade celebration will be held on Wednesday, May 23rd at Coolidge Parks and Recreation Center from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. Thank you to Ricky for letting us use his facility. And Imagine's 8th grade celebration will be held Thursday, May 24th at Imagine's Gymnasium from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. as well. Students will have all-you-can-eat pizza, soda, games, movies, photo booth, bouncy houses, and more. And the CYC, of course, will have our prevention talk kits there, encouraging parents to take our resources home and to start that conversation with their children. Also, CYC attended the 2nd annual Arizona Opioid Summit hosted by Arizona HIDA. We learned that Arizona's opioid problem continues to rise at an alarming rate. Some statistics that came out of this training was heroin deaths have tripled since 2012 in Arizona. In 2016, 790 Arizonans died from opioid overdoses. That's an average of more than 2 people per day. Also, as many as 1 in 4 people receiving prescription opioids long-term in a primary care setting struggle with addiction. And lastly, 431 million opioid pills were prescribed in 2016. That's enough for every Arizonan to have 2.5 weeks supply. That is a scary statistic. As a result of Governor Doug Ducey's statewide health emergency and opioid epidemic, the Arizona Department of Health Services is about to release a 2018 version of opioid prescribing guidelines for acute and chronic pain. The following guidelines are designed to provide information, promote patient safety, and best practices for providers prescribing opioids for acute and chronic pain. You can find a draft of this guideline on the Arizona Department of Health Services website, along with real-time opioid data and available resources for treatment and recovery. And things to be aware of from the DEA, price of counterfeit pills available at $14 a pill. And patients transitioning off of prescription medication, they can easily obtain Mexican Oxy. Pima Narcotics Unit is working diligently with law enforcement to find the latest pills on the street market. And lastly, CYC is reaching out to parents to get more involved in our Kindness Rocks anti-bullying initiative. In order for this program to remain sustainable, CYC is reaching out to the parents to take the lead on this program to create more parent-youth bonding experiences and positive school connectedness. So, those are all of our updates.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is call of the public. That's a portion of the meeting where the public can come up and to the podium and address us for up to 3 minutes should they so desire. If you are going to address us, please, when you come up, state your name and your address. Not seeing anybody rush to the podium, we will move out of call to the public and move into business items for consent. Does anybody want any of these items pulled off to be looked at separately? Okay. All right, here we go. Item 5. Consider approval of entering into an intergovernmental agreement between Pinal County and the City of Coolidge for the purpose of providing election and voter registration services during the city's 2018 primary and general election. Item 6. Resolution number 1805-05, a resolution of the Mayor and the City Council of City of Coolidge, Arizona, approving submission of an application to the Arizona State Library Archives and Public Records for grant funds in the amount of $15,000 and accepting such grant funds from the Arizona State Library Archives and Public Records for the purchase of furniture equipment to create an interactive early literacy learn and play station at the Coolidge Public Library. And item 7, consider approval of the claims for the month of January 2018. I need a motion.
I move to approve 5, 6, and 7 as written.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Norma? Yes.
Councilmember Huddleston?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta?
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson.
Yes. Thank you. Moving on to business under regular items. Consider approval of authorizing staff to seek bids for the removal of public works equipment and machinery no longer serviceable and declared a surplus.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, this is just a follow-up for the surplus that was brought before you several months ago. This is just clearing out the public works yard, the wastewater treatment facility, the Quonset hut, some of the storage facilities that we have. All of these items were declared surplus previously, and this is just to advertise for a contractor to come in and basically scrap everything there.
Okay, Matt.
Any questions?
So I understand that the way I read it is you're going to go out to bid for somebody to come in and one person's going to take it and sell it,
That's correct.
or one company or what have you. Okay. All right. Any questions?
Yeah, Gabe, where does the money go? Does it go back in the general fund or? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I'm glad we're doing this. Our yards are just filling up with a bunch of clutter, and we're really trying to do a good job of cleaning up these yards and getting rid of really what's junk, scrap metal.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing further, I need a motion.
Move to approve number 8 as written.
Second. Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you very
Number
much.
9, consider approval of amending the salary range for the transit driver dispatcher position from range 32 to range 34 in the city's FY 17-18 salary plan.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, I'll take that one tonight. Before you tonight for consideration is a recommendation by staff to amend the city's current salary plan for the transit driver dispatcher position. And what it will do is, if you approve it, it'll change the range from a 32, which is currently at the beginning of $11.72 an hour. That's the starting pay, to a range 34, which moves it up to $12.32 an hour. Development Services Director Gilbert Lopez is here. He's the one that's recommending this change, and he's available to answer any questions you may have.
Gilbert, is there money in the current budget to cover, when will this go into effect? 30 days immediately, or what, if it's approved?
Mayor Thompson, Vice Mayor Henry, council members, if it's approved, it can go into effect, I believe, within 30 days, or immediately, depending on.
I think immediately.
Okay. Yeah, so this is actually budgeted for. We always put in enough capacity in the event that there is extra funds, but in this case, this money is part of the ADOT budget, which is the federal portion, and the city puts in the general fund. So it's covered in this, and it just makes us more competitive against area services or bus type jobs that are available. We've lost I believe it's six drivers that in the last 6 months, and some have actually left before they even start because somebody else offers them a job. And we don't want to compete against the private industry as far as like trucking and those kind of things, but against others like services, other bus services within the area, we'd like to be a little closer. And this is off the website. The Coolidge and Florence schools pays $12.84 beginning pay. So we're quite a bit at $11.72. We're quite a bit under that. So we're just trying to get a little more competitive. Plus, we're on a 2-year cycle with funding with ADOT, so we have to come up with a 2-year budget. And as you know, the minimum wage is going to go up. And in 2020, it'll go up to $12. So we're under it. So this will bring us in line with that also. So it's just a good thing to do. We have the funds, and we want to be able to keep our drivers. Every time we have to hire and train a new one, they have to have a CDL. So you know, it's hard to get a CDL driver. You just can't get anybody that just walks up and go through background check and all that.
Well, we need drivers, and if the RTA lawsuits, if the challenges don't prevail, 2% of that 20-year money was dedicated to public transportation, and right now,
absolutely,
we're just about it for Pinal County. So I think we should probably be in line to get some of that money on the next go-round, I think. So, all right, I think we'll have the money. Does anybody have any questions down here?
What did it move it up to, Norma? What would it be, the base, if it moves up?
The base would be
25,621 would be the minimum.
25,621 annually.
So we're going from 11 to 20, 25,000 a year,
Yeah.
not an hour.
Right.
Is right now the annual 11,000 an annual or an hourly?
Right now it is 24,000.
Oh, okay, so it's 25.
386.
Yeah. So it's 11.72 an hour currently, and it'll go up to 12.32.
And that's a full-time employee
That's a full-time
with benefits and
benefits.
everything. Okay, thank you.
Anything further? Not
Mayor,
hearing
if
that.
there's no further discussion, I make a motion we approve item 9 as read.
Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah, there's motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. We'll move into report from the mayor, council, and city manager. Steve?
I have nothing to add.
Rob?
I have nothing.
Good to see you.
I went to the Artisan Village over the weekend and sat in on a geology class at the Artisan Village. Man, that place is just something else. If you don't go to that Artisan Village for anything else, to go to the geology exhibit it has there. Going through a little bit of turmoil, but they're great information, and my son loves it, my kids love it. So get out and visit that Artisan Village. It needs some visitors. Chief, say great things about your guys. They're doing great stuff in our community, keeping us safe. Fire, EMS, and the military. Thanks for all those guys. That's it.
I attended the, well, actually I worked the starting of the quilt show on Friday, and we had a featured quilter that we had a reception for, and it turned out very nice. And I encourage everyone next weekend to stop by the quilt show. There's some beautiful quilts.
Also went to the quilt show. It's beautiful. I mean, they're very, very beautiful display of quilts there. we'll say we're praying very hard for no rain, but it looks like we may get some more rain, possibly tomorrow evening through Wednesday, and it just kind of puts a little damper on our Main Street project, which we're really trying very hard to get done, but we can't really help the weather. We want to make sure it's done right, and when moisture comes in, it slows it down. So we actually went out to the airport today to look at setup that Chief Dillon and Chief Malinsky be working on a mass casualty exercise over the next few days, a regional mass casualty exercise where they have a scenario there with a large bus and a vehicle. We'll have some participants that will be victims in a mock accident scene, and it'll be a good exercise for the emergency responders to go out there and really get a hands-on experience of how to treat and how to go into a situation like that. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Well, I have a number of things, but I don't want to take up. Attended the Chamber Commerce Luncheon, the Coolidge Youth Coalition Forum, the CAG Legislative Day at the League of Cities, where we talked to the representatives, senators, and the legislatures about some of this fine legislation that they're getting ready to throw out on the cities and towns. I too was at the Coolidge Quilt Show by the Cotton Patchers. It was quite an experience. But if you haven't seen it, you need to go. It's a lot of work, a lot of good stuff over there. I was at the community, Mr. Lopez and I were at the community cleanup Saturday morning before we went to the softball game. And I congratulate Jack Payne and his team for finally winning one. Chief Malinsky was on that team. I'm not going to hold it against him. So, they got lucky on us. But as long as you got Commander Grizzle, we've always got a chance. That's the way I look at it. But anyway, that's all I have.
Mr. Mayor, I forgot to mention this weekend obviously is Cotton Days, and great event, and we are having the parade. And if you want to ride on the parade as you usually do, we're going to have I think Chief and the fire truck will be there. So just let us know if you'll be attending that.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, I guess I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We're adjourned. Thank you for coming, everybody.